What's up guys, it's Catron's Productions 72, back here with another review, and with that it is Tuesday. So today's review is on set 75299, Trouble on Tatooine, released in January of 2021, at least I think it was in January. Or this may have come a bit later, I may be wrong, this may have been a March set, I'm unclear. But this is one of my all-time favourite sets. You heard me, this is probably cranking the top 10 favourite sets. Maybe not the top 10, maybe the top 15, I don't know. But this is probably the best set so far that you can buy right now in 2021. It has a good minifigure selection. I say good, not great, I will get into that soon. It is a really solid set, and I have a few theories on this set as well. So this set is one of those ones that's unusually priced in the UK. Lego set prices are kind of standard, you know, they don't really go too nuts. But this year I've had a couple of ones that are a bit weird. We normally don't get odd numbers unless it's a battle pack, for instance. At least in the Star Wars range, for instance, the TIE Fighter we looked at last week from the January 2021 line cost £35. This one cost £28, which is unique. I don't know why I didn't just go 30 on this one, but you know, a couple pounds saved, I'm not bothered by that. So this is a really cool set, and it's so far the only set I think we've had based off Season 2 of The Mandalorian. There is more Mandalorian sets coming later this year that will be based off Season 2. So this is one of those really cool sets that I did not think they would make. And when I saw pictures of it, I went crazy and really wanted to get this set. It definitely is, you know, obviously it's missing something quite obvious. I mean, if you've seen the season 2 of The Mandalorian and what episodes this is from, which is from the first episode, you'll instantly notice something that isn't quite there. Now, I will point out, if you have not seen season 2 of The Mandalorian, this will most likely contain spoilers and quite a few of them. But yeah, so let's get started with the review. First on to the minifigures. So going in order of the box, we have Grogu or Baby Yoda or the child. The box lists him as the child. So he's the same one that we saw in a couple other sets. So the other sets that I believe you can find this minifigure in are it's like the big kind of statue version of the child or Grogu, and he's also in the original. Why am I saying the original? So the Razor Crest are the other two sets that I'm aware you can get him in at the moment. So he's a pretty cool looking minifigure. He reminds me a lot of the Maggie Simpson minifigure you could get with the Simpsons line. That's as far as we can zoom in, by the way. Reminds me of that in a lot of ways. It's quite cool. You've got a rubbery head, you know, so it's not hard plastic, so it's not going to snap. It looks good from the front angle. It even looks kind of good from the back angle, but from the side, I don't know why it looks a little. I don't know if it's just me, but it does look slightly awkward from a side angle. I don't know why, but maybe that is just me. Personally, I give this minifigure 9 out of 10 purely because the way it looks to the side is slightly awkward, but again, a really cool minifigure that we're now getting in a really cheap set, that's one of the best parts of this set for some of its minifigures. Now, on to Mando. And so, the minifigure most of you probably bought this set for, it is the Mandalorian, or as the box calls him, or Mando or Din Djarin, call him whatever you want. But for me, he was one of the main reasons that I went out and got this set. And he's well worth it. He comes with two guns, he has full waist printing, knee printing. He even has some pretty cool looking arm print that you can see there. And that is carried on to both sides of the minifigure. So behind his cape, I do believe there is some slight printing. Like most of the Mandalorians do have the slight printing on the back. Mostly if, you know, the kind of pad the jetpack would connect to. And there's a few belts and a few things just there as well. It's got a nice cape. I don't think it doesn't feel like the new material. It feels like the old material. I think they've done away with the new stuff. Continuing around, you'll just see the same printing on the arm, which is quite cool. I do believe at the moment he's the only Mandalorian minifigure or Mandalorian type minifigure, apart from Boba Fett, that actually has the arm print. Coming around the front, he just has his chest plate, which is the Beskar armor, and he has that belt thing and just all the clips, you know, kind of all the stuff the Mandalorian generally has. His helmet is quite cool in that silver colour, but there's one unfortunate thing that gives this minifigure a 9 out of 10 like Grogu, and it is what you'll find underneath the helmet. And here's what you find underneath the helmet. No, it's not turned round, it is a full-on black head, which is slightly disappointing. I find this disappointing mostly because, you know, we get spoiled alert. By the way, there are spoilers for The Mandalorian if you've not seen it. At the end of season 1, we get to see his face, so... And this is season 2, and we see his face a couple of times in season 2. So this one does confuse me a little. If we zoom out here, you'll see he has 2 guns. One's kind of like a standard pistol, nothing special. He's got his kind of a custom built gun, which looks like it has a grabber on it. I do like his custom gun quite a lot. It is a really cool looking weapon. So now on to probably the minifigure that, you know, the least favourite of the set, but still kind of cool to get another one of, the Tusken Raider. So there's nothing special about the Tusken Raider. It is kind of just your standard Tusken Raider that LEGO have been making, I believe, since 2015. I think they'll be making this version. And there is really nothing too special about him. He is a really good minifigure. I don't mind getting another one because, you know, tatooine walks. I must have about 5 of these guys lying around now. Something like that. But they are really cool minifigures. Obviously, he has the gaffy stick, which is quite cool. He just has... See, I'm trying not to describe him like you would the common Stormtrooper minifigure that's in every set, or the common battle droid, but you know what? He's been in that many sets now that you could kind of class him that way, but, you know, nonetheless, still happy to get another one of these. It's a newer design on the torso, which I believe we've also seen this design in the Obi-Wan's Hut set from last year. But, you know, it's still pretty cool nonetheless, and I'm happy to get another one of these to add to the collection. Plus, you know, he fits right into the set. So now, let's get on to the set itself, starting with the speeder bike. So the first part of the build is the Mando speeder bike. Now, this is quite cool looking. Obviously, like 99% of the Star Wars or LEGO Star Wars speeder bikes, it's oversized and, you know. But, you know what, that doesn't bother me like it does some people. The only time I don't like the oversized vehicles is the ATRTs. This, I feel, can work, which might make me sound crazy, but it does. So it's a really good looking speeder bike. It even has a place for Yoda. The handlebars control the bits at the front, which I don't think any other speeder bikes do. Or at least the LEGO versions, which is quite cool. Someone pointed out it's very similar to Kanan's speeder bike from 2015 or 16. But, you know, it's got some cool details and it's got a little backpack there. It's a decent looking speeder, so let's get the minifigures on it. So first minifigure we're going to be putting on here will be Mando. So as far as I'm aware, and from looking at this, there isn't any definitive place to put his weapons, unfortunately. So you do have to take his weapons off, which I'll admit is actually quite irritating that you have to do that. But you know what? It's one of those small prices to pay for a really, really good set. But yeah, I'm just looking here, and it turns out there is a place to put his weapon. Just check the box out. You can put his main weapon there. By the way, I've not touched this set in about a few months, so I have forgotten. I want it. And there's also another clip round there. Damn it, you learn new things every day. There's a clip round here you can place his other smaller blaster on, which is... Damn, that's actually quite good. I have to remember that there. I don't want to leave those on. So I'm now going to put Mando on the speeder. Just be there in a second. So we do have Mando on it. Unfortunately, the one drawback is those studs will fall off. Or parts will fall off, but it bends his cape. So I'm now going to fix the bike. So there is a pretty cool area for Baby Yoda, and he just slots right in there. Unless you're me, who should probably be holding another part of this, because I'm incompetent. But yeah, there you go. Baby Yoda fits right in there, and you're ready to go across Tatooine. One thing this reminds me of is Anakin's speeder bike from Episode 2 that he uses on Tatooine. I don't know if it's just me, but it reminds me quite a bit of that. You know, which is kind of cool for nostalgic reasons. Let's go on to the next thing, and I have no idea what this thing is called, so this will be really fun. So here we have this rather strange looking object. As much as it looks like a bug, this is actually the thing they use to fire, I can't remember what they're called, but they use these things to fire like the kind of shells and kind of, you know, the payload into the crate dragon. It does work. It is weird looking. You can adjust these. The back ones are held on by these parts over here, so you can't bend the bottom ones down. It's got this little adjustable bit, which I believe is just for show. I mean, you know, just to give it that kind of feel and look like, you know, you're aiming and you're about to fire at the Crate Dragon. There's not really too much that this does, to be honest with you. This set, or at least part of the set, it is on a clear brick, so, you know, if you push that down, the legs will collapse, but the actual thing won't. It does fire, and it fires a really cool looking missile, which I will now fire at the wall behind me, or in front of me. And it bounced right back at the camera. So this is a really cool one. I don't think I've seen them in this colour before. It's a really kind of silvery kind of colour. These ones I like, unlike the multicoloured, or, well, not multicoloured, but, you know, the regular ones we're used to seeing. I'm not a fan of those. So I'm now going to put this back in with the... Please let me know in the comments, because I know there was somebody that can tell me what this is called, but I really don't understand what this is called. Again, I know what it does in the show, but I'm clearly messing up now to one of the parts of the set people don't like too much, but I have a few reasons on why they've done this. So let's get into it. So on to the Tusken Raider camp, or Tusken Raider tent, or whatever you want to call it. I call it the place where Anakin kills all the sand people. But yeah, this set you only get half of it and you have a bit sticking out. Now I have a theory. Lego wants you to buy 2 of these to make a full tent. And I have my reasons for this. So if anybody remembers, go back 5 years ago to the set Carbon Freezing Chamber that came out January of 2016. Yeah, 5 years ago, and that makes me feel old. You might remember that a lot of people, like, you only got a half of it, and you could see a lot of the externals and all that poking out. People were buying 2 of that set and putting them together. Maybe they want you to do this with this set. Who knows? It is a cool looking model. I like how they've left it open though. I mean, you know, for display and for play it works. So let's get into it. So the first thing you have is you have this fire that it's not supposed to move, but you know, I thought it did. Then you can put the minifigures around here. This does open up, kinda, at the sides, which is, you know, it's decent. It works. This is obviously structural support, and it kind of adds like the chimney for the fire. There's areas you can put minifigures around. It does look better when it's closed up, if I'm being completely honest. It doesn't look great like this, but yeah. Nothing here on this side. On this side you do get a cup with a little bone inside of it. We can put that back in there. But yeah, I'm going to fold it up and try and put the sand person or Tusken Raider in. I mean, you'd probably, if you've got more than one of these Tusken Raiders, it would probably look really great. I mean, I have a few of them and I've never really tried. I don't display my minifigures in my sets. My minifigures are categorically sorted in drawers, but yeah, trying to get this minifigure. I'm gonna be right back. So there, I got it to work. So maybe you can't fit more than 2 in this, but you know what? I'm happy that we got this in the set. It's pretty cool looking. I'm gonna twirl it around to let you guys see it to the full extent. But you know what? It's decent and it does the job quite well. And you know, I'm happy we finally got one of these, because we never got one of these last time they made like a set based on Tusken Raiders. So yeah, I mean, this is an alright build. As far as the builds go, the speeder I'm gonna give that, you know, 9 out of 10. The other thing, whatever the hell you call that, I'm giving that a 7 out of 10. This, I'm also gonna give 9. It looks good, but obviously it's not accurate, but yeah. Let's go on to the box. So here is the box for the set. So as you can see, AG7 Plus, set 75299, Trouble on Tatooine, got your Disney logo, got your minifigures, and you can see we're on the planet Tatooine. We've got Mando in the box corner, because of course this is a set based off the Mandalorian. Looks really good. It's got all the greebling on the box that we're used to. Flip the box over, you know, you kind of got the scene set up here. It does show you the, you know, how to use the set, but I've already shown you that. But yeah, on the top you've got the scale, or to scale, the Mandalorian. And on the side of the box we get that little bit of nice art. So now, let's go on to the instructions. So here we have the instructions, very much similar to the box, obviously in the way of design. If we open up the instructions, it's just, you know, your standard building instructions, you know, nothing special, but you know, still good to show these in the review. So if we skip towards the end of the instructions, there is a lot of pages, by the way. Some parts of this build can be a little bit time consuming, I'll be honest, but you know what, it's a decent enough set. So it has 55 pages of building, or at least it says it does. It has 29 building steps. Keep in mind a lot of those are sub-steps. If we continue on to the very back of the manual, you will find an ad for all of the other sets that are currently out. The TIE Fighter, the Mini Falcon, the X-Wing, the other X-Wing, Imperial Shuttle, the Hoth Microfighters, and this set, funny enough. At the very back, we will have an ad. It's just the minifigures you get in each set. So let's go on to my final thoughts on this set. So with the end of the review here, I'm left with a bit of a puzzling question. See, some sets you buy for the minifigures and some you buy for the build. For instance, if it's a Millennium Falcon, you're buying the set because it's the Millennium Falcon, not because it has Han Solo, Chewbacca in the set. For instance, last week with the TIE Fighter that I reviewed, you buy that because it's the TIE Fighter, not because it came with a few minifigures that are probably going to be in about 100 other sets. So I'm left with this one. Is this a set? This one's a bit confusing. Do you buy this one because of the set, or do you buy it because of the minifigures? Personally, what drew me to this set was not only... It was kind of both for me. And it's a really good set. So what do I give the entire set as a whole? Well, we have to face the elephant in the room. The other minifigure, or minifigures that probably should have been in here. See, with it being a Tusken Raider camp, or at least that's what they're trying to show us or depict here, we should have gotten another Tusken Raider. But what more importantly we didn't get, and I'm not just saying we should have gotten the speeder that came with him, I would have been very content just with the minifigure, but most people will know exactly what I'm talking about already. That is the lack of the minifigure Cobb Vanth, who is in this scene, and he was in pretty much almost the entire episode. I think he was in the entire episode. So it does upset me that Cobb Vanth was not included in this, not even his minifigure. Come on Lego. You have made the Boba Fett armour a million times. Well, not literally, but you've made the Boba Fett armour so many times. You could have maybe changed it up, because I know you're doing that with the August 2021 Slave one. So yeah, that's the only thing I can knock this set against, really. Like, sure, I may have knocked it a few times during the review, but those are small things. Those don't damage the set too much, but it's the lack of that crucial minifigure that should have been in here. And maybe Lego, if they couldn't have included Cobb Vanth, should have went, okay, maybe we should, include another Tusken Raider, one to operate this and one to go in here, but they didn't. So I'm giving it 9 out of 10 for that reason, but all in all, please go out and buy this set. It's a really good set for the money. You get Mando, and not just that, he has the printed arms, though with the coming sets, or the sets that are coming out, that will no longer be desirable. Or at least just for this set, because the printed arms Mando, he's going to come in the Forger. I think that's what they're called, the set's called, the Forger. He's also going to be in Moff Gideon's Cruiser, he's going to be in the new Slave 1, so this set might lose its draw pretty quick. I mean, obviously this set has something most of those other sets don't have, and it is the child, or Grogu, or Baby Yoda, whatever you want to call him. But you know what? Until then, this is probably the best set for value. Like, you get stuff that I didn't see coming in a cheap set, I'll be honest. It is one of the coolest sets I've ever gotten, and it was a fun build. And the minifigures as well, it has amazing minifigures. I'm not going to deny that. They're really good figures, which again, I did not think would ever be in a cheap set. Or, I'm not saying this is the cheapest set in the world, nearly £30, but for what you're getting here, I mean, the value is already there. I mean, there's no denying how good of a set this actually is. I mean, it's not just that. You could probably put this stuff, you don't have to just use it for the Mandalorian. If you're building a mock, you could use these vehicles or integrate the vehicles in, the Tusken Raider camp, and you could put it in anywhere in Tatooine. So it does have that displayable value in a mock or on a shelf with other Tatooine sets. But anyway, I'm going to go. So you guys are getting Figure Friday this week on Friday. And next Tuesday, I'm reviewing the Anakin's Jedi Interceptor from last year. Because I didn't do it, I only got the set a couple months ago. But I'll be reviewing that, and that'll probably be the final review for June. I can't believe we're halfway through the damn month, but yeah. So anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. See you guys on Figure Friday. Let's see if we can get a crazy number of likes for this video. because the last video I did, or the last review I did, the TIE Fighter has over 130 something likes. I mean, I was not expecting that right out of the gate. That's crazy. Anyway, before this thing gets any longer, see you guys in the next video. Peace.